to video 5 in a set of 6 videos all about the Great Awakening, or the Awakening, or the Spiritual Awakening. And in this video I am going to be looking at how my series of videos is going to run and what I'm going to be including in it, because it's such a huge topic and I wanted to let you know what I was going to be covering in the near future. So let's not hang about, let's get straight on with it. Now in this video I am going to be looking at what I'm going to be covering in the coming months, and it really is going to be months ahead because this is such a vast topic and there's so much to include. And I'm going to be giving you my current plan. This whole series of videos is evolving quite organically, so it may change, but it's more likely to be including more things rather than taking them away. So I'm going to give you my current plan and hopefully it'll be something like this as I start producing the videos. I have tried to be organised about this. Not easy for a fire sign, but I do have a lot of Virgo in my chart as well, so I have tried to be as organised as I possibly can and put this in a logical sequence. Anyway, I'm going to be starting off with the real history of the world, as I'm going to call it. I'm going to read off how that runs, or how at least I'm currently planning that to run. I can't remember it because it's such a vast topic, so I'm going to be starting off with the creation of contrast and separation, because obviously that's where it all started. And then I'm going to be looking at the seeding of the earth and life, or humanity, beginning on earth. And then I'm going to be looking at Lemuria, obviously, then Atlantis and after Atlantis. I'm going to be looking at the Jesus story and the Jesus bloodline, probably only briefly, and the beginnings of Christianity, because obviously that's quite important. Then I'm going to be looking at the Great Resets and the World Wars, and then I'm going to obviously be looking at the Great Awakening and the New World Order and how that fits into the whole thing. I'm also going to be covering the topic, I'm going to call it spiritual warriors. I'm including light workers, empaths, indigo children, rainbow children, crystal children, and of course star seeds, including Pleiadians and Sirians, to name but a few. I'm also obviously going to be looking at the reptiles. We couldn't do it without that, could we? And of course different blood groups as well. And then of course I'm going to be looking at the outcome, the growing alignment and the awakening the 100th monkey, for example. So obviously I'm going to be covering alignment and atonement, and I'm going to be moving on to how to get into alignment and atonement, and this is going to be several topics as well. So I'm going to be starting off with how to get into the light in a step-by-step, practical, down-to-earth way. I'm then going to be following up with what I'm calling the Love Project, which is all about aiming at getting us into that love energy, which is basically what we all are, isn't it? And I'm also going to be looking at forgiveness as well, and how to forgive, because that's a huge part of getting into alignment. I'm also hoping at some point during these last 3 that I've just mentioned to be doing some global meditations as well, and some global energy work as well, so that we can all work together to raise our own energy, which obviously affects the global energy, but also assist in raising the global energy as a whole. Now, it doesn't matter where you currently are, where you're starting off from. I'm going to be covering all these topics from absolute beginner to advanced. And of course, as we're going on with the advanced courses. I'm also going to be doing a series of videos just aimed at light workers, and I'm also going to be doing a series of videos just aimed at starseeds as well. Now, there could be a lot of references that are new to you that you've not heard of, and obviously I'm going to be covering these as we run through this series of videos, what the terms mean and how they apply to the work that I'm going to be looking at. Terms such as the Luciferic experiment, global alignment, galactic alignment, atonement, light workers, who are light workers and what does the term really mean, empaths, the crystal, indigo and rainbow children. There's the 12-strand DNA. What is the New World Order, the World Bank? What are the Great Resets? What is the Deep State? What are the converging timelines? What is harmonic convergence? And what is the relevance of the Mayan 2012 prophecy? Now, I'm going to start off with the real history of the world, because you can guarantee if they've been lying to us, if the history that we've been given has been inverted, there's going to be a really good reason for it. And all of this information has come to me over decades and decades, and has been brought to me by researchers and authors. For example, Drunvalo Melchizedek. I probably completely butchered that. In fact, I know I did. I'll probably write it below because I really can't say that name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Drunvalo, if you ever watch this. And also, of course, the fabulous David Icke, to name but a few. I mean, there's decades of research that I've been doing and lots of different influences coming in, and I really couldn't cover all the different information that I've gathered from all different places. If at all possible, of course, I will mention these as I go through the different sections. And of course, these authors have studied ancient texts such as the Hindu ancient text. There's also the Babylonian clay tablets, of course, through Sitchin and his work, or Stitchin, is it, and his work. And of course the Nag Hammadi, I probably butchered that as well, scrolls, and the Dead Sea Scrolls as well. And all this information that I've looked into and that the authors who've influenced me have looked into and interpreted as well. And after this, of course, I'm going to be returning back to my mainstream light work teaching. I'm going to be looking at dreams, because dreams can be so helpful in getting us in touch with our path, our spiritual connection. I'm going to be looking at soul fragmentation, the Akashic record. I'm going to be looking at past life and past life regression. I'm going to be looking at what has been called pre-birth planning, but it perhaps would be best to say pre-incarnation planning, the plan that we formulate for our lives before we come back to this planet. I'm going to be looking at healing trauma, spiritual trauma, obviously. I'm going to be looking at inner child work. I'm going to be looking at spirit guides, angel, our highest self, and all the spiritual connections that we have. I'm going to be looking at our energy systems, our body energy systems and our auric energy systems as well, because that's so incredibly important. And I'm going to be looking at releasing promises, vows, oaths and control chips as well, because all this is going to be helpful in moving us forwards. And where I go after this, who knows? I've got files and files of different topics that I want to cover, that I've been learning and teaching over the decades. And I really do love all this stuff. As you can probably guess, or I wouldn't have spent at least 3 decades studying it. And I hope you find that love for this work as well. Maybe you'd like to let me know in the comments, what is your favourite area of light work? Or maybe you would like to let me know what you would like me to look at over the coming few months. I really would appreciate all your input, so please do leave a comment and please leave a like and please subscribe as well. Well, thank you for joining me. I hope you found this video helpful and I hope you found it useful, and I hope to see you in the next video when I am going to be looking at the Great Awakening and light workers, because it's slightly different for us light workers, isn't it? So I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye.